tax situation, and that's why.
And now we're paying for it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And people were like, "What the fuck, Biden?" But
although
they
I have
realize...
although I have a small business, so I get to write a lot of shit off.
Yeah.
So I'm just like I got away with it, a little bit. But I'm like again, it goes back to these big things. Is that like on a society, my big beef with politics is one, the lobby powers have too much power.
Yeah.
And then two, the American people don't like school failed us in a lot of ways, but the biggest one is that school didn't really teach how the government works.
Yeah.
They've only taught you how the government was or what the government did. They don't teach you how it works right now. They don't teach you about bureaucracy. They don't teach you about how it works. They don't teach you that the mailman is a government worker in the same way that Pelosi is a government worker. Yeah. Right? And those two people are like the furthest away from each other in the cog of machines that is the government. Yeah. Right? So when people talk about like, oh, I'm anti-government, I'm like, no, you're not. You're anti-politician. Yeah. You're anti-politician. Like libertarians would say that shit all the time. Libertarians would be like, I want the least amount of government as possible. I'm like, you're lying because you have roads. Even if you live in rural America, like big cities subsidize those roads. Yeah. You need roads. You need a fire department. You need public water. You need public electricity. You need a grid for your town to live in. You can't do that on a small town budget. Yeah. You can't do that when your town is dying.
You can't get Todd from down the street to help.
Right. Your town is dying, and you don't want to move because it's traditional values. When in reality, what you preach is pick yourself up from your bootstraps and move to where the money's at. Yeah. But you won't do that. So big cities have to keep subsidizing you. Again, you're not anti-government. You need the postman to come deliver your mail. You need the grid to exist so that you can get on Facebook. You need some sort of government. Yeah. Big government at that, right? What you don't like is politicians. Yeah. Certain politicians. And that's fair. I don't fuck with them either. But like, we just don't know how the government works. We don't know that the mailman and Pelosi are the same government worker. We don't know that the CIA and the FBI are the same government and that bureaucracy is a fucking bitch, right? We don't know that, like, we won't acknowledge that, when you talk about, like, the government, it encompasses a large group of people. The DMV are government employees. Yeah. How you get, you want people to have their license, right? Because if you get in a car accident and they don't have a license and they don't have insurance, you're going to get pissed the fuck off. Right? You want big government in there saying like that's illegal. You can't. We need to be on these public roads that we pay for, following all going by the same rules. You want government involved, but you don't register the lady that has to push the paperwork for you to get your license or for you to do your driver's exam. You don't consider her the type of government employee that you're thinking about whenever you're trying to drain the swamp, right? But ironically, if they do drain the swamp, she's who they fire. You know what I mean? They're not firing Pelosi. They're not. Even Trump didn't do that. Even Trump didn't fire Pelosi or get rid of like half the bureaucratic Democrats. No, when they let go of people, they let go of homegirl that's working for $55,000 a year and in rural DMV somewhere that's pushing papers for your license that it lives in your small town that needs that part of that money flowing for the economy to stay stable so that your town doesn't die. Right, that's who they lay off. Yeah. I mean, about like your the job that you said that like collapsed. Like layoffs happen, and when layoffs happen, they don't get rid of big people. They get rid of worker ants. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So like for me, it just the big deal that the big quarrel that I have with politics on a like granular level, on a person-to-person level, it's just the fact that people don't know how the government works.